A few weeks ago, I was looking forward to eating some leftover Thanksgiving turkey. I asked my daughter to bring me home some cranberry sauce. I told her I liked the kind with the berries in it. She brought me home a can. It was a well-known brand. When I opened the can, I noticed it was half full of jelly. There were a number of berries at the bottom, but it clearly wasn't what I was hoping for. A few days later, we still had some turkey that had not been eaten, but we'd used up all of the cranberry sauce. I rummaged through the pantry to see if by chance there was any cans of cranberry sauce from last year. There was. I checked the expiration date. Still good. And it was the kind with the berries. But it was a different brand than what my daughter had purchased the previous week. In fact, it was a brand that I'd never heard of. When I opened the can, I noticed it was cranberries from top to bottom. I thought, aha, I'll bet it's a privately held company. I went on the internet to check. Sure enough, the can that I had opened a few days earlier that was half jelly was a well-known household name, a public company. The new can, which was full of cranberries, was a totally different eating experience. Like I said, I like the berries. I was curious enough later that week that I made a special trip to the store just to buy cranberries. The turkey was all gone and I didn't need any more cranberry sauce, but I wanted to check out my theory. I found the two brands of cranberries and purchased them and brought them home. I opened both cans, like I suspected. The publicly traded company, the household name, the one that was the most expensive brand, was the lowest quality with half jelly. The other brand, a privately held company, certainly was far better quality, solid berries from top to bottom, and a much tastier product. Why would that be, you might ask? Why would the publicly held company produce the product with the lowest quality and the highest price? If you're paying attention, you already know that it's almost always that way, and for good reason. Public companies are driven by stock price. Their executives are paid bonuses based on the stock price. In fact, the CEO, the vice president of marketing, directors of marketing, and so forth, usually receive stock as part of their compensation. So it's to their advantage to get the stock price up. Most of these executives don't plan to be at their company very long. 5 years is about the average for an executive to stay at any one company before they move on to the next company. To receive bigger bonuses and to feather their resumes, they need to increase profits today. Now, stock prices are driven by the profitability of the company. Now, to increase profits, they need to increase revenue or decrease expenses. They can try to increase the price to increase revenues, but they're hampered in doing that because if they increase the price too much, no one will buy their product. So the other alternative is to lower costs. Lowering costs almost always mean lowering quality. Cranberries are the most expensive ingredient in cranberry sauce. Therefore, the best way to take the cost down is to remove some of the cranberries and replace it with cheap jelly that is mostly sugar. So when the VP of marketing suggests that they take out the cranberries to increase the profit, the CEO is quick to approve the proposal. Now, take a private company, especially a company that doesn't ever plan to go public. Since there's no stock price, there's no desire to drive the stock price up. Of course, you want to be profitable, but enough is enough. Executives of the privately held company are not compensated by receiving stock. Executives running public companies are governed by short-term goals. Privately held companies can afford to focus on long-term goals. Their growth strategy is often to increase the number of customers buying their product. They know that quality will do that. It might take time, but quality is always the answer to improving the amount of customers you've got buying your products. Now, Melaleuca is a privately held company. We don't worry about stock price. We focus on our mission of enhancing lives. We want Melaleuca to be known for quality, safety, and taking care of the environment. We've created products that help people live longer, healthier, more vibrant lives. We're debt-free and profitable. We've defined ourselves as a growth company. In other words, our objective is to grow to impact more lives next year than we did this year. When I leave this earth, I want to leave a company with a stellar reputation of enhancing lives. Now, we don't sell cranberry sauce, but if we did, we would not take out the berries to increase our profits. There's simply a huge difference between us and the publicly traded companies in how we think and how we operate. And since most consumer goods in America are manufactured by publicly traded companies, this leaves a tremendous opportunity for Melaleuca. There's a huge void for quality products, especially in the arena of wellness products. That's the main reason we have grown so quickly. As people continue to discover the difference with Melaleuca products, our growth will continue to accelerate. One of the reasons we can provide tremendous value at low cost is because our products are super concentrated. We believe it's irresponsible to water down your products in order to put them into a bigger bottle. Our competitors foolishly believe that the average shopper is looking for the biggest bottle at the cheapest price. Therefore, they add water and other fillers to make the bottle bigger. Tide Original is 70% water. Tide Simply Clean is 81% water. Mr. Clean is 95.6% water, and Fantastic is 98% water. Over 30 years ago, we made an amazing discovery that our competitors are evidently still not aware of. We discovered that almost 100% of all American households have running water available at the tap in their own home. If a product needs water, they can simply add it at home. Therefore, it makes no sense to ship water in products across the country. At Melaleuca, we believe in not being wasteful. Therefore, we wring the water out of our products. Over the years, we've taken Melipower from a 1X to a 2X and then to a 6X. We took so much water out of Melipower, it started to become a solid. Then we invented a process that would keep Melipower a liquid, even without the water. Then we patented that process so that no one else could use it, and we're not done yet. We're currently working on a 9X version that will be even better than the current 6X. Now we have over 400 unique products. We have dozens that I would call jaw droppers. By jaw dropper, I mean astonishing, life-changing, one of a kind. Many of these products can have a big impact on people's health. But if I were asked to point out the most important product that we have, it would clearly be the Peak Performance Pack, which will impact people's health more than any other product. Through 2 human studies, the Freiberg study and the Sterling study, we've been able to document that the Peak Performance Pack stops free radicals in their tracks and therefore should serve to slow down the aging process. It will be years before we're actually able to prove that people using the Peak Performance Pack will actually live longer, but that evidence is starting to mount. All of us who use the Peak Performance Pack have a story to tell. Individual stories do not make scientific evidence, but they are valuable nonetheless. Over the years, Melaleuca has unlocked several secrets found in nature and incorporated them into our nutrition products. Our scientists invented a process to treat minerals the same way that plants treat minerals. We named this process the illegal process. The illegal process makes minerals much more absorbable and helps stop free radicals. Now, I've been using Melaleuca nutrition products for over 33 years, longer than any other person. And I've not kept it a secret that I believe I'm staying younger longer. Nor have I kept it a secret that I've been able to keep up with even some of the strongest athletes in the world my age. That's not a credit to me. It's a credit to the Peak Performance Pack. I have an extensive physical checkup every year. This year, I traveled to Salt Lake City to take a special test called a coronary CT scan, which can actually look inside the coronary artery and check for plaque buildup, which would be a preliminary indication of heart disease. This is the artery where heart attacks occur. The doctors found something very unusual. No plaque whatsoever. None. Zilch. 70-year-olds almost always have some plaque. I can't promise it will be the same for everyone. But for me, I think the Peak Performance Pack is doing its job. But there's more to my personal story than just myself. All of my family uses Melaleuca products and Melaleuca nutrition. My mother faithfully used Melaleuca the last 2 decades of her life. She had 4 brothers and 1 sister. They all passed away in their late 60s and early 70s. Mom outlived all of her brothers and sisters by 17 years. She was the only one that used the Peak Performance Pack. Coincidence? I don't think so. Do I think it's conclusive scientific evidence? No, just one story. But it's evidence that will become irrefutable as it is added to thousands of other stories just like it. That's why we're asking you that you keep track of your own story. We suggest that new customers measure their blood prior to ever using the Peak Performance Pack, then measure again after they've used it for 3 months. Then tell the world and turn the results into Melaleuca. Now, we all know of the Freiburg study and the Sterling study. Soon we will be announcing the results of a third study. This study was done in Freiburg, Germany, in conjunction with the Freiburg University. Here is Dr. Nasser Fretz to give you an update on that study.
Thank you, Frank. Both the original Freiburg and Sterling studies demonstrate profound benefits of the Peak Performance Pack in the areas of metabolic health, heart health, and cellular health. Because of the impressive heart health benefits we observed in these studies, we sought the advice of several leading heart health experts about how to further substantiate those benefits in an additional study. They recommended we study the effects of the pack on endothelial function and stiffness of the arteries, which are the best predictors of cardiovascular disease. As a result, we commissioned a new 12-month study using our Peak Performance Heart Health Pack and enlisted 2 highly respected scientists and medical doctors to run the study, Dr. Bruno Fink and Dr. Daniel Koenig. Dr. Fink is a world-renowned medical doctor specializing in the areas of free radicals and inflammation. He also holds a PhD in biochemistry, pharmacology, and toxicology. He was the principal investigator of the original Freiburg study. Dr. Daniel Koenig is also a medical doctor and professor of the University of Freiburg, who specializes in cardiology, internal medicine, and sports and nutrition. The 12-month study is still in progress, but we just received an update of the initial results after 3 months. The results are really encouraging, and I would like to share some of them with you. First, the results once again confirm the heart health benefits we reported from the Freiburg and Sterling studies. More specifically, we have again observed significant reduction in blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation. We analyzed the results among all participants and among those with less favorable health parameters when they started the study. Here's just some of the preliminary findings after 3 months. We saw a significant 3.4% reduction in systolic blood pressure and a significant 5.7% reduction in diastolic pressure with all participants. Among those with elevated blood pressure, we observed a 6.1% reduction in systolic pressure and a 6.6% reduction in diastolic pressure. In addition, we observed a significant 3.9% reduction in total cholesterol and 6.7% drop in LDL or bad cholesterol. Among people with higher cholesterol level, we observed an 8.6% drop in total cholesterol and a 12.4% drop in LDL cholesterol. We also saw significant improvement in heart rate during light exercise, where we observed an average drop of 6 beats per minute. Additionally, we observed a significant improvement in inflammation resistance, a 44.1% improvement among all participants and 69.1% improvement among the group with elevated inflammation response. Now, in the clinical areas we added to the study, we observed significant benefits in endothelial function and stiffness of the arteries. The endothelium is the thin membrane that lines the inside of the heart and blood vessels. It controls the contraction and relaxation of blood vessels, blood clotting, and platelet aggregation. Endothelial dysfunction is considered one of the early signs of plaque buildup in the arteries and an important predictor of heart attacks and strokes. The health of the endothelial function is tested by studying the level of nitric oxide and blood flow-dependent dilation following significant constriction of the arteries. This is called flow-mediated dilation, or FMD for short. We observed a significant 8.6% improvement among all participants and an impressive 35.6% improvement among the participants who had lower FMD values. We also observed a significant improvement of 38.7% in nitric oxide production among all participants. Among participants with poor endothelial function, we observed a significant 116% improvement. As we age, our arteries and aorta become stiffer. With increased stiffness, our heart has to work much harder and our blood pressure increases. Also, our core mobility and organ functions decrease because of poorer circulation. As a result, our overall health and longevity decrease. The stiffness of the aorta and arteries can be measured by measuring the speed of the blood pulse waves and by measuring the increase in blood pressure due to wave reflection, which is called pressure augmentation. After using the Peak Performance Pack for 3 months, all participants have shown significantly less arterial stiffness. Among the group with stiffer arteries, we saw a significant 2.8% improvement in pulse wave velocity and a significant 8.3% reduction in augmentation pressure index. It was also interesting to note a decrease of 5 beats per minute in resting heart rate among this group. Lower resting heart rate has been linked to longevity, where a reduction of 1 beat per minute is thought to improve lifespan by 1 year. So a reduction of 5 beats per minute could potentially improve longevity by up to 5 years. We have 9 more months to go on this study, and we expect to learn a lot more. But we have already learned a lot in the first 3 months, and the data is very impressive. I have not seen benefits of this magnitude before. If you think about the magnitude of cardiovascular disease, it is the leading cause of death today. If you can influence the root causes and prevent them from happening, like maintaining healthy endothelial function and arteries, you may be able to reduce heart disease itself. That is why I am really excited to see the results from this study, and I am thrilled to be part of this ongoing work.
Thank you, Dr. Fritz. That's pretty phenomenal. The younger you start using the Peak Performance Pack, the bigger benefit you will receive later in your life. All of these great products that are unique to Melaleuca have created an unbelievable financial opportunity for independent Melaleuca marketing executives. We've now paid out over $5.4 billion to families all over the world. It's exciting for me to watch those numbers grow. 457 families have now made over $1 million. Over 5,000 families have now made over $100,000. 50,000 families have now made over $10,000, and these numbers continue to grow every month. It's really fun and exciting for me to see this. I'm proud of the fact that you will find Melaleuca products throughout the homes of all of my children who now have families of their own. And I'm really proud that many of them have built a little extra income with their little Melaleuca business. My sister Luana, who will be 78 years old next month, is a Director 7. She has personally referred 18 active customers. I'm extremely proud of my daughter Lori K. Banks, who is a Senior Director 4 and has an organization of almost 500 preferred members. 67 of those are folks she personally referred. And my daughter-in-law, Charissa Vandersloot, is a Director 5 and has introduced 71 customers to Melaleuca and has an organization of over 200 active preferred members. All have made their personal contribution, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm really proud of all those who've built this company. I'm very aware that this entire company has been created by thousands of average people with tremendous heart and courage. It takes courage for people to get out of their comfort zone to tell people about Melaleuca products. I'm grateful for the thousands who've gone out of their way to do so. We often celebrate the movers and the shakers. We walk them across the stage and we give them big checks. But we often overlook those who just brought 1 or 2 customers to us. And yet, those people are extremely valuable to us. Even if you have enrolled just 1 customer, I want you to know you have made a big difference for us. In fact, over half of our customers have been brought to us by people who've enrolled fewer than 10 customers. So you don't have to be a massive enroller to have tremendous value to Melaleuca. Now, let me give some advice to those of you who are endeavoring to build a thriving Melaleuca business. There is great folly in comparing ourselves with others. Just because someone else is moving faster than you, or someone else has done more than you, don't underestimate your value. Don't get discouraged when you hear the stories of rapid advancements. And don't underestimate how proud we are of you and how much we appreciate what you've done. Don't discount your contribution just because it appears that someone else has done more than you or done it faster. Your consistency is much more valuable than their flash in the pan. Now, we're all in this together. I'm no different than you. We're all just average people trying to do our part, and every part helps. Regardless of what you see someone else doing, set your own pace, knowing that every customer counts. Celebrate everyone. The most valuable activity is reaching out to those on your contact list to make appointments. Celebrate every time you make a phone call. You can celebrate your success even when they turn you down because you did your part. You followed through. You made the call. You're doing what every successful Melaleuca marketing executive has done, setting appointments, making presentations. They won't all say yes today. Don't expect them to. Remember, no means simply not now. I need more information. You can give them more information tomorrow or next week or next month. Eventually they will come. All roads lead to Melaleuca. The day will come when no one can afford not to be a Melaleuca Preferred member. They can't find these kinds of products anywhere else. They need us. They need what we have. If they don't enroll today, it's simply because they simply need more information. And as people learn more about us, as our reputation continues to grow, eventually they will all come. But for now, it's one customer at a time. Celebrate every tiny success. Thank you for being a part of us. Thank you for helping us change lives. This is a fun and exciting business, so establish your goals and set about making those phone calls. If you discipline yourself and don't allow yourself to get distracted, you will reach your goals. It's only a matter of time.
Dear